9,000 people, one study, and a number nobody who takes these drugs wants to hear. When they stopped their GLP-1 medication, they regained weight at an average of 2 pounds every single month. But the number isn't the interesting part. What's interesting is why. Because your body doesn't simply drift back, it actively pushes. And the part most people get wrong comes near the end. First, what these drugs were actually doing. GLP-1 is a hormone your gut already makes. The medication mimics it and holds that signal steady for days instead of minutes. That signal does 3 things at once. It quiets hunger in your brain. It slows how fast your stomach empties. And it turns down the reward you get from food. So here's the thing to notice. Nothing about that is permanent. It's a signal being held in place by a weekly dose. It is not a rewiring, which means when the last dose clears, the signal stops. And everything it was holding down comes back up. But that alone doesn't explain 2 pounds a month. Something else is pushing back. And that something has a name. Your body defends a set point, a weight it treats as home base. Lose weight and it doesn't celebrate. It responds like it's under threat. It turns hunger hormones up and turns your resting metabolism down. You're hungrier than before, and you burn slightly less than someone your size who never dieted. This is the part that feels unfair. The medication never changed the set point. It just held the needle down while you took it. So stopping isn't a finish line. It's removing a dam from a river. The current was always there. Now the detail almost nobody mentions. It isn't just how much comes back, it's what comes back. When you lose weight quickly, some of what you lose is muscle. When you regain it, it returns mostly as fat, which means you can arrive back at your starting weight with a different body than the one you started with. Less muscle, more fat, same number on the scale. And because muscle burns more than fat at rest, that shift makes the whole cycle a little harder the next time around. The first thing most people notice isn't the scale, it's the food noise. That background chatter about what's in the kitchen gets louder again, usually within weeks. Here's the rough timeline. Appetite tends to return within 2 to 4 weeks. Measurable weight change usually shows up somewhere between 1 and 3 months. And the people who hold on to most of it tend to share 3 habits, not 3 genes. That distinction matters more than almost anything else in this video. One more trap. Reacting to early regain by crash dieting tends to backfire because aggressive restriction costs you more muscle, which lowers your burn even further. Now, why do people stop in the first place? Very often, it isn't medical at all. It's the invoice. Brand name versions can run over $1,000 a month, and coverage for weight loss alone has been tightening. For many people, stopping is a budget decision, not a health one, which is why maintenance dosing is getting attention. Some patients stay on a lower dose long-term, enough to hold the signal without the full cost or side effect load. The research so far points in one direction. These medications work while you take them, much like blood pressure or cholesterol drugs. Stopping moves you back toward baseline. So that is the honest picture. But here is what changes it, and it's the reason this video exists. The people with the best outcomes treat their time on the medication as a window, not a destination. They use those months to build 2 things the drug cannot give them. Start with protein. Most guidance lands somewhere around 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of your goal body weight, spread across the day rather than crammed into one meal. Then, resistance training. 2 to 3 sessions a week, hitting the major muscle groups, gradually adding load. This is the single strongest lever you have, and it is not optional. And measure more than the scale. Waist, strength, how your clothes fit, your energy. If the number drifts up while your lifts also go up, that is a completely different story. And they taper with a doctor rather than stopping cold. So hunger returns as a slope instead of a cliff. And none of this replaces your doctor. Tapering, dosing, and whether to stay on at all are clinical decisions made with someone who actually knows your history. Which brings us back to that number. 2 pounds a month is not a verdict. It's what happens by default. And default is simply what you get when nothing else changes. Now you know what to change. Next episode, does long-term use change your brain's response to food permanently? Subscribe, and I'll see you there.